Cause I came to get. Gotta keep it.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Kevin G. For this little episode, what I'm doing is I'm doing a track breakdown of my track. It's gonna be very short and simple. For this track, the track is called Frozen. It's out. It's been out for like a few months or so. I'm gonna play the track for y'all, and then get into it. Let's go.
Lips red like roses, tasting of wine. Eyes like the ocean, gonna make you mine. Kevin G. Lips red like roses, tasting of wine. Eyes like the ocean, gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine.
Alright, so that's the first drop of it. Gonna break that part down for y'all. Alright, so I got some vocals. I got these vocals from Splice. So here's the key for like vocal shopping. I don't ever shop for the sounds or anything I'm looking for in that particular folder. I get really creative and dig into like other genres. Pull things from that. A lot of times the vocals that I get, they're normally pop vocals for that's used for pop music, and I guess that's kind of like what makes my music a little bit different from others when it comes to vocals. Is it's more of like a pop like vibe when it comes to vocals. I mean, there's times for like hip hop vocals, I get those from like maybe a drill pack or something like that. I don't really have a lot of things from dubstep folders or rhythm folders. A lot of my stuff comes from like other like genres. But anyways, this came off of Splice. It was in a pop folder. I've never like used half of the stuff that I already have already. So I have a respace here. Before I forget, for the vocals, yes, I do this. I do the same EQing on vocals all the time. Of course, if you're in Ableton, you know about Tuner. Tuner is technically one of those things. It shows you what key that something's in. It doesn't work all the time, but it really does help. A lot of times, how I know if something's in key or not is I kind of like hum, and I kind of like I don't know. It's kind of a natural thing to me. If something's in key. But anyways, so that's for that. Then I have a respace. I don't really do much with the respace. A little bit EQing. Compressor. So for side chaining, I use compressor. If you're in Ableton, I'm gonna show you this little trick. I do have this video up already on my YouTube, but click compressor. It's gonna look like this. Alright, you hit this little drop box right here, where this arrow is right here. Get that. You click sidechain. And you want your audio coming from something that's ducking. Mine's coming from the kick. And you can hear it duck under the kick. Hold on. Let me see if I can. There you go. It's weird to hear that ducking part. So what you're gonna do, your thresh is gonna be eye level to your out, which is going to be 0. I take mine down normally to like a negative 24 to a 34. No, a negative 24 to a 31 was keep my thrush. I you want everything to duck under. You want everything to duck under the kick. Um, you don't want anything clashing with the kick. Um, so that's that. I have synth right here. Compressor, a little bit of EQ. I use Copycat, which is technically a pan filter for left and right. I use horns. I always use horns on my tracks. Anything from like brass horns to epic horns. What else do we have here? It says I have another vocal somewhere. Oh, Vox. What is this? I've used it before. I've used this like flip vocal chant before. Just never put out a song with it in it. For some reason, it kind of ended up fitting into the song. Kicks. Alright, so if you notice, I don't really do anything much to the kicks. The kicks got used to the same kicks for every track. Just about. Really depends. A lot of times I do like EQing and stuff like that on the kicks. And sometimes what I've learned, depending on the quality of your sample as well. You have your 808s, your subs. Can't forget those. Compressor, EQ, compressor. 808s is another one of those things sometimes that I don't really do much to, just like the kicks. Sustains. A lot of times I use sustains in my tracks. It's a natural thing for me to use sustains. It's just kind of like a signature thing as well. I love sustains. It's just I don't know. I did a lot of like messing with the LFO rate for the sound for this. So I took the Zamplifier preset I had and I kind of just like did some things with it. I'm not gonna get like really too much into like the sound designing part of things. That's for like another time. Some things that I'm not gonna show y'all because it's one of those things that you want to keep to yourself. Another sustain. So I layer sustains a lot. I always layer sustains. You have your mid, your highs, your lows. That's usually how I layer sustains. You have like a ringing noise, which ends up being the high. Low ends up being the very graspy, like grungy sustain, and then in the middle would just be something that fits in the middle. So a lot of times when you hear sustain, it's not normally just one. It's normally layered. Claps. I don't really do anything special for claps. I do EQ. I do also what's the other thing called? EQ. Obviously sidechain. A tiny bit of reverb. Sometimes delay. It really depends because usually I use like 2 sets of claps, 3 sets of snares, or 2 sets of claps, or 3 sets of claps. It really depends on how I feel. So snares. Same thing goes for that. Nothing special. Nothing special with the hi-hats. The pattern. You have your hi-hats, your cymbal, your crash, your ride, stuff like that. And I'm gonna play the second drop for y'all. So, sustain. Like I said, so also like a lot of times I'll have like this random like bass loop sitting somewhere, and then I will never use a whole bass loop. Like that's never the concept for me. I would take maybe like not even a quarter of it, cut the rest, delete it, throw it away. Um, and just messing around with it, putting it in MIDI, doing a little bit of post processing and stuff like that. So a lot of times, I use Serum. Obviously, I use Serum, Silent. Um, there's one more, Vital. Uh, that's really like it. I have a few other plugins too, that I'll get into in another session about what plugins that I do have that was worth getting. Um, got the whoop noises in there. There's a lot of like random sounds in here, which is not really random. It all has a place in the song. All right, so. All right, and then you have your effects. Got my tag. Oh wait, hold on, where'd it go? I need to get another.
Kevin G.
It's not much, but I really want another tag. I don't. So I'm gonna play the second one for y'all. I'm gonna play from the build up. I don't know why it's doing that. I'm not too sure. Let's try this.
Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine. Gonna make you mine.
All right, y'all. That is the end of this. Dang, we had almost 13 minutes. That's super awesome. I want to keep